First show, I want to phone it in, and I want to make all my mistakes right away. I think the fifth show is the one to keep your eye on.
Fifth show, oh my God.
I really. She's from Paris. Paris?
I am.
She's here.
No, I'm here.
Thanks very much. Yep. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for your patience.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Where do you want me to be? Right here?
Yeah.
Hey guys.
We're going to,
We're going to use a lot of off-color language.
if that's okay.
If that's cool with you guys.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Dave, you could complete the sentence for us.
Mm-hmm. I'll try. Sounds like a sobriety test.
Yeah. Steve Allen, Jack Parr, Johnny Carson, Jay Leno.
That's funny. I like it. I'm going to go with Conan O'Brien.
You really?
I know, yeah, I am. Just because I think it's a natural fit. It's progression. It's like the evolutionary chart in reverse. You know, you've got people standing out walking erect, and now I'm crawling back into the sea. I think that's pretty much what's happening. It is. You know, every now and then I'll see like some great footage of Johnny Carson doing something on his show, and I'll think, oh, it's that Tonight Show. And of course, it isn't that Tonight Show because there'll never be another Johnny Carson. There'll never be another Jack Parr. You know, it's hubris to think that my Tonight Show is going to mean exactly what Johnny's show meant back when there were 3 networks and he was the only late night show.
Yeah.
But at the same time, your goal is to still make it be relevant in the 21st century to people, today, to people right now. And what does that mean in a in a world of YouTube and in a world of 650 cable channels and do you know what I mean? All this niche comedy. What is the Tonight Show now mean, and what does it mean with me as the host? So here's the thing that's not going to change. I am, to quote Popeye, the greatest of the sailor men. I am who I am at this point. There's no, my sense of humor, who I am, what I'm all about, that can't be changed at this point, short of me having major brain surgery. This is it.
Yeah.
We're going to take a lot of the bits that work on our show and bring those, but we want to think of new things. And there's no way that moving the show to a grander studio and moving it to Los Angeles is not going to somehow change things. But I like to think the show's going to evolve.
Yeah.
The way the late night show evolved. I mean, you think about it, the late night show changed a lot over the 16 years that we did it. I changed as a performer. Andy started out with us. He left. He's coming back now, but there's been a whole evolution in how we do the show.
Having Andy back, what's that mean to you?
To me, it means we have a deep bench. It means we have a great utility player. Andy is one of the funniest guys I know, and he and I have this chemistry that you don't find a lot in television. It's real. It's not that fake.
Yeah.
You're the best chemistry. The only way to survive in television is to change. It's the only way. You can't do the same thing forever. If I'm going to be funny on television for another 10, 15 years, things have to change.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's a little bit of a blessing in disguise that it wasn't my choice. NBC said, here's the deal. You host the Tonight Show, move to Los Angeles. Well, okay, we're moving to Los Angeles, and it's, it's going to give us a whole new sandbox to play in.
Yeah.
It's time for us to have a new place, it's like the artist getting another canvas to paint on.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I'm a fish out of water in Los Angeles. I mean, it's funny when people just hear about, just the visual of me being in Los Angeles is funny. Genetically, I'm not engineered for that climate or that sunlight, and me driving around in a white Corvette would make people laugh.
Yeah.
And hanging out with Fabio at a trendy sushi restaurant.
I hung out with Fabio one time.
Well, my apologies.
Yeah.
He's got a bigger rack than any woman I've ever met. It's an opportunity. I think there's a lot of... I had obviously mixed feelings. It was very bittersweet to end that late night show. And then the minute it was over, it felt like for a couple of days, I was just numb. And then I felt this feeling of there's this big new wave coming that we're going to ride. And the Tonight Show is a Maserati, and the late night show was it's a fine car.
Ford Taurus.
It's a really good Ford, it's a Ford Taurus SHO. But now, but now you're driving a car with like 12 cylinders, and I'm looking forward to it. We want to have fun with it. I don't want to be too reverential about it. I don't want to be too, it's the Tonight Show. I'm going to button all 3 buttons on my jacket. I'm going to try and sit still. I'm going to speak in hushed tones. I'm going to behave myself. I want to rip it up, and let's have fun with it, and let's make it our own, and let's ruin it so that no one else can ever use it. That's really what I want to do. I think there's a kind of comedy that we do on our show that's actually suited well to the times. There's a kind of comedy that I like, which I've been doing for a long time, which is very silly. Yeah. I mean, I really like to be silly, and there can be sort of there's an escapist quality sometimes to my show, because I think it's very upbeat and silly, and sometimes it's very childish. We like puppets. When I'm doing a show, I will do anything, and I often do anything to try and make it all work. And then later on, I noticed that I ripped my jacket, or I tore my pants, or my shoe is missing, and that's the way I do it. And that's not going to change at the Tonight Show. I'm not going to have, I'm not afraid to break something, and I'm not afraid to, jump through a window. I'm not afraid to, box somebody, or do what it takes to have a funny show. Yeah. And it's funny because even when I was in college, I used to tell people that I was going to have my own show someday, and I used to draw my little caricature around campus on the kiosks, and people would say, and the character always had a little word balloon that was saying some nonsense word, and people were always saying, "Why are you doing that?" And I would say, it's advertising for the show I'm going to have someday. I'd just tell my friends, and my friends used to believe me. They would say, "Yeah, you're going to have a show someday." I didn't think it was going to be the Tonight Show. I may have overreached. If I have, my apologies.